Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much again for joining me this evening. Once again, just to touch base with you on what's happening around our country and what the events that is taking place in Parliament, so we can continue to discuss all this tonight. But welcome, and I want to thank you for taking this time out to be with me tonight. But firstly, like Toktok said, I want to pay tribute to one of our members of Parliament who passed on last Sunday, the Honourable Gabriel Caprice, member for Maprik. He suddenly left us without any sickness whatsoever, and it's a sudden loss to his family and his people of Maprik district. And I want to express our sympathies, especially all our followers right throughout the country, overseas, and those who participate with us, that we say our sympathies and condolences to the family and the people of Maprik. He was a great leader, a third-term member of Parliament, and a very humble and very experienced leader in a way of being a very professional engineer that we have lost. So we certainly are going to miss him in Parliament, and of course as one of those very productive and capable leader in our country. So I just want to express that before we start tonight. Well, why I had to say that we will discuss the MYEFO, which is the Media Economic Outlook, because in Parliament last Friday, the Treasurer presented a report in Parliament by changing the rules of Parliament, where normally Fridays is reserved for members of Parliament, especially backbenchers, to debate after question time on grievance matters. But unfortunately, the questions were discarded, and government business was brought forward. As a result, the grievance debate was never entered in Parliament, so we had no opportunity whatsoever to debate issues that are currently posing many challenges to our country. But unfortunately, debate was virtually gagged, and as a result, we couldn't debate those issues. The Treasurer, firstly, the Prime Minister put in a report about his successes that he has achieved over the past 12 months as government, but unfortunately the debate was the paper was not debated, his report was not debated, and we moved on to the presentation of the MYEFO. Again, that was hardly debated, and when some of us, especially in opposition, wanted to put our views across, the Parliament was adjourned. So that is why we are tonight trying to explain to you what has happened. I also wanted to discuss about issues around SME and businesses, because it is something that our people are crying out for. And I also wanted to share some of my own experiences as a small businessman for many years, and how I came to set up that kind of business and trying to hopefully share my experience, so those who are wanting to get into businesses can be able to understand the sacrifices and the hard work that is needed for each and every one of us to sort of get some success. But with every success there are also failures. So being in business does not mean that you automatically walk in there and make quick profits and be very successful quickly. Unless you do illegal things, then you will certainly be successful, but the illegal things normally catch up with you quite quickly. So I discourage them from doing the hard work. And sometimes as many of you would know who know me quite well, I am not a person who want to talk about my personal life and the hardships that I went through in my own life. I see that as a private matter, so I try to keep it out of the public debates and public discussions. But the Prime Minister on Thursday, the week before, last Thursday, he used parliamentary privilege to accuse me of owning hotels and businesses and as such that I didn't know what was going on in the country and I shouldn't ask questions to him about him holding him to account for his decisions that he is making as a leader of our country. I think it's just short-sighted, and it has and the Parliament did not give the opportunity to try and to rebut what the Prime Minister was saying about my own personal engagement in business and how I am doing in business as a whole. I grew up, I was born in 1965, and I grew up in the remotest part of our country, Pangaea, in the Southern Islands province. In fact, in 1965, my mother was a very young woman. She gave birth to me at the border between Southern Islands and in Kerema, a village called Mamuane. And I grew up in a village as any ordinary and many Papua New Guineans right throughout the country. I did not have, I probably had one trousers and one shirt when I grew up. I had no shoes. I grew up in a village like everybody around the country, and of course, my struggles as a child up until when I was 16, I always wanted to get into business and try and improve my life and improve the life of those who are around me, especially my family. So in very early, I was determined to try and change the way I was growing up and I was living as a person. So when I grew up in the village, I was privileged to do so, but there wasn't much around. There wasn't enough to pay school fees, enough to buy food, enough to do anything, even buy clothes for instance. So I left the village when I was 16 years old to join my father in Goroka, and then from there I went to university. So when I was at university, my father died. My father wasn't a businessman. My father was just a public servant. He came up to PNG as a Kiap in 1949 and lived here and died in PNG. I buried him in Goroka. So he didn't have any assets. He didn't own any houses. He was living in government house. So he was living on a salary, pay like every other public servant at that time. So when I went to university, I was determined to go and study in business and get into accounting and commerce. So I studied that at the university. So when my father died, he left me a small amount of about 150,000 kina for me to put a savings so I could pay for my school fees in universities and try and advance myself. With that money, I borrowed money from ANZ Bank and started going into trying to buy a house so that I can have an income, an apartment where I can have an income from those rentals, and that will pay for my expenses and the upbringing. So I started investing in 1982 from a little bit of savings from my father and from a little bit of borrowing, quite a substantial borrowing, not little. At that time that's 40 years ago. At that time it was quite a substantial borrowing for somebody who's never borrowed money before, somebody who's got no history of assets or any other business experience. So the bank literally took a punt at me, so knowing very well that they had a mortgage over the property that I was buying. So I just want to stress that, Prime Minister making such a comment where he's saying that I didn't know what I was talking about, but I've been in business for close to 40 years, from 1982 when I first bought my first house to where I am today. But I've been continuously reinvesting in the business, so making the business strong. Like, bringing up a business is like bringing up a child. You need to continue to feed, and you need to continue to work and make sure you don't strip the child's opportunity away, and as a result, so the business, you don't go in there putting your fingers into the business so that business is starved of the ability to grow. You must feed it. You must make sure that you work hard, you look after your staff, and have a good relationship with your bank, and continue to work around that to build up your business. So business is not easy. So, in Prime Minister today, we employ in fact, close to 1,000 people, Papua New Guineans, in my small little businesses that I've got. We have no business with government. We don't tender for government business. Everything is done through private sector and with the public. We don't believe in doing business. Many people rush to get in government contracts, and I want to discourage them, because government is not a good payer. Government has got so much corruption issues that you will continuously try and feed into that way of doing business, and when they are not good payer and you don't have the capacity to continue, your business will suffer as a result. So, my advice to anyone who wants to get into business is that you continue to work. You continue to work in a way that you can sustain. There must be sustainability. So you must have the sufficient cash flow to meet your payroll. You can meet your bank obligation. You can continue to meet those obligations going forward. You will be able to succeed. But if you depend on government and you depend on a government contract, where also delay more payment below you, or time you put in claim you go inside, all these things, you are inheriting the inefficiencies of government. And as a result, if that is your only source of income, your business is bound to suffer. And you need to spread your stories around, where business around, where that it's not dependent on one client, not dependent on one customer. You must spread it around. You have got several customers in several sectors that will be able to know that if one sector goes down, the others will support it, and you are able to survive the ups and downs of the economy that we are facing today. So, I have been able to invest in small companies like Remington and a few others at the height of the COVID, because I wanted to get into a different sort of business. We are in the hotel business. We've got a small hotel in Morocco, and we just invested in another hotel in downtown. And these are businesses that are employing Papua New Guineans, and we are paying taxes every week in and out, every fortnight in and out to the government into lots of money. And it's not easy. And I want you to think that don't think that business is easy and you can be successful overnight. But as a Papua New Guinean, the problem we face is that our system, where we are communal in a sense. So when someone is successful, he has an obligation to look after the entire family, entire community, entire sort of village in a sense. And that obligation can be overbearing for some individuals. Sometimes that obligation sucks the money out of the business, and as a result, the business suffers. So you need to have a bit of a discipline that you live within and the means of whether you can afford to participate in a traditional askarai, or you can be able to participate in ceremonial duties like you may participate or line or maret or line or killing pig or something. This kind of customary obligations, you have to try and do it within. Some of the time, you say, "Go na tako me big man, so name the big man, me must tribal contribution." That you are making some part of your business to suffer. As a result, your business will fail, and then everybody suffers. So it's better to maintain and sustain the business so that the business continues to grow. So this la pasim block custom too, and my background plenty good businessmen inside the country, especially all SME owners. So you must talk. That's la employ business, so must mean not touching. That's la employ family. So you must make sure there's la discipline is done. And plan the unnecessary something you must go walking outside lo core business blow you me. And two sa kaya plan the money. Time you gonna buy nubla car na, you gonna buy nubla marina, you gonna buy kind something. Emi costing you me money. So you must discipline lo this the kind of expenditure too. So suppose you got good business, you must put in this money, go back to business. The business must continue to grow, and by feed him dividend income back lo you must look at the more community and all this narpla interest in the. So I just want you to be able to know that it takes a discipline. It's not about money. Money and you say, suppose you got discipline or bank now, got the line too by giving you money, or by lending you money, lo you're gonna start in business now, you can talk also way. So I have a very good, strong relationship with the banks and all my customers, where always believe lo time me talk also, by me working this la work lo, this la way na, by me this the time by me delivering, only got believe lo you. So when you have that kind of history for 20, 30, 40 years, and by easy lo you to one time online there. Not a man. by giving free money to you starting business. No got one man by giving free loan to you starting business. Even the government too, some always let free money come because work hard like sim. I mean hard lo you pushing some discipline to go inside. So me think also maybe important. Lo you me always line in stuff like business interest inside the country believe you must discipline straight. Discipline lo look at money lo growing business. No, you're not going to waste money, nothing. Lo, okay, kind something come up. All this pressure by come up the community and stop tomorrow to become yet. Up tomorrow become yet. You mean one man you not got enough money to meet him over the heavy block community. So you must work in lo map lo you mean. And display one big plus something where you miss our working some kind every come inside lo business lo you mean. Lo Papua New Guinea, you got plenty program to government in working business, government in working business. Government is providing some support also now SME money only putting. But true, and government only giving all wrong man. Also, it's better you go to working business discipline. You see now want a bank manager, BSP or Kina Bank or ANZ or Westpac. Now talk, you must establish a relationship with them. So start and discipline law, manage him salary blue. Suppose you work man, you got like savings. Suppose you start law saving bank by looking record blue law savings. Not to go money, I'm so look at the money good. I'm say 500 kina law for night, I'm saving 200 kina, 300 kina, I'm look at the family. So you bring him just like on a bank, but look him history blue, you know, I'm good plan so you can lend him money line. I'm just a kind or something. I'm easy law you law money line. Time you waiting government start yet is a kind politics come inside, kind lunch money lo side, talk no got money lo go working copy na this a kind here system lo you work lo background because government work lo look at him one man inside the country where now total connect PNG only put him close to also 1.3 billion kina lo budget. 1.3 billion kina or something the budget now only at 1.1 or 1.2 or something also. So look at the money only give him one talk so look at the money only give him the line blow lit society look at him all side. Na walk through you know come up. Na economy blow him to go growth so let me no grow. Only work like gaman you may look at the second person. You like talk also. Come up with some successful business. Lo Papua New Guinea also na you look in plenty man give up na. Only go politics plenty man give up na. Only like only laram only on him store only regime store ya go sana man you okay money na behind me black yet you may come up jealous. Store blue you meet us you may rent him go out. So plenty time you may start looking plenty Papua New Guinea a lot time before lost straight passion store scheme or something only come up good pla all businessman inside the country. So you got experience with this. In a mean also by you mean an upload working. We can do it. But any discipline one month or so. You look at one plus sign on a successful man. I mean solutions to a blend. Na marrying a picking blend, uncle blend or bubu blend or even papa and mama blend to go and sit down lost one and look him Kako come inside, Kako all salami go out, money stop one of them. Only look close to next start. I'm just like discipline. All the run, I work in kind passing lo side na, be an old losing in the business na, be an business background na, start lo blaming lo kind man. So me like him you play somewhere else, me stop lo this like kind way so. Me like him also thinking lo suppose you like starting business and one and discipline. Two and managing expectation lo line blame lo place. You must make sure you got this kind passing here where you miss our every sort of place time, money die or something. You go na contribute na working to so. You must work him from mark below you the level where you think also right. And that's like and you can allow this like you make no can allow. Time you explain lo line lo place to all understand it. All no talk also more. Money on him one blood bank so him can come na give me money nothing. No God. So me like him you blood tintin lo. There's a kind of person where yes credit scheme na government scheme become to them by no na blood him plan man. Best friend you supposed to like go to business and bank. You must got good relationship with the bank manager. One branch is tablet. You must have good story one time more. Okay, me working this kind savings. Me got this kind little thinking working this kind business. Enough you lend him some money to come to me. Lo SME lo side lo mi lo mi pla mi like talk sawe lo also example lah. Mi plus like starting some like lending scheme inside lo district lo mi lo yalu pange. Mi committee mo sem 2 million kina finish lo all mama. Lo display ya taso lo display ya government lo marape oli playing politics na give him yalu pange desla 10 million kina budget by mixing land now lo number 8 moon 7 moon ikam now we black sim 1 million kina taso all narbla establo government sim 6 7 8 million kina finish so lo yalu pange we black sim 1 million taso la mora one time by mixing islam money no but people like starting credit scheme where people like by call 1 ward na putting more than 20,000 kina lo 1 ward 20,000 kina now all mama by working more than lo this la ward by working group now all yet by approving 5 la merit loxim loan past this la 5 la merit some loan finish by me bla batoko ka you got close to 3 or 4 la moon lo back in this la now lo it come back lo this la little SME program lo ime time only start lo back in dinner the record is good narbla 5 la merit bas so this la usai by approving this la loan and all this la meri inside the community taso why me talk also because community must put him I lo all meria lo working right way lo working business you know say money nothing na go na album pabalo go buy buy market or go na working kind passing good lo side and mama talk me like selling buy me like working sewing or me like working baking or something also mama ya must some money lo working so you may start in 5 la Mary finish or this la Mary back in dinner okay all narpla 5 la back sim dinner so all back in dinner lo sim dinner blo all na sim all narpla all mama lo all can start in business blo so this la emi one bla passing where system emi very successful in Bangladesh very successful in England also call him Grammy Bank so me sim this la idea lo all this la line na em walk go through because okay then mama ya walk la back in dinner because suppose one blow in a back in dinner and by you looking by only no naplo only by no naplo go back na only by sawelsen naplo line by no napsim dinner suppose only no back in so only got pressure lo back in so I may display in good way lo you may start lo empowering all mama so suppose record blow go good la suppose some 1 or 2 bla mama you work lo back in dinner good na business blow go strong and only back si more na more go tablo strong in this la business so one lo mama iles na work lo play run and why na ba you miss about it man and in a serious lo working business you know mean was if you me okata come up with some good businessman na made no god some bla we bla come up good bla lo work pastor work teacher work doctor work pilot work accountant some bla come up good bla lo working business so but you must identify multiple line lo one line lo one word that you must start him so and this a kind of program lo one district you can come up him lo look at him online lo place because you may got now ability lo this la 10 million you may got land you can scale him la to you may start lo this la way so me bla by close to by starting this la program me so one bla from BSB bank executive lo start putting some la tintin policy lo make him easy lo mama lo sawena all can tintin lo click dinner lo legal interest rate lo try lo starting business block and one bla way so lo side lo business me talk finish bino also marape emi no working on a business emi work lo giving contract lo cousin uncle no got the line blend and tin also em sawo lo business em also line all working construction company na but me blog ata sawa you know got one man behind him this la em me blog ata sawa emi no got marape no got one play experience lo this la country lo plap and where work lo long time lo some good play experience lo managing one plus something I'm not managing one department, I'm not managing one something. So time I'm asking me this kind of question. Me got close to 40 years experience. You know, me also me successful over the time. Close to me go broke. Some of the time me go on top, some of the time me go down. But I'm life blow business. That's all. Maintain also one man very work lo me and me work lo look at him all. Make sure them also only must pain look at him family blow. And number one priority blow. Number two also successful business must come up successful. So me sawe also me no marabi no tintina work lo playing politics lo personalism politics that's all. Me forgive him. Me no also sawe Karen Bible run talk also desla pasin bakama also me working the second pasin tasol me man blow forgive him old man Mary so me forgive him me no na blow karam the second talk personalized in politics na run also law country blow me so you move on law where me talk penis law this the media economic outlook here Amila talk some this la report here me one plakan report where me talk also Tresra em Giaman. Tresra blumi em Giaman. Em Giaman na misleading country blumi. Where em talk also report em all sawe man blow. All Tresra em only working penis. So me bla reading mo got a page inside law one page. Me bla reading na me bla look sawe also only work law talk also. Economy blumi got big bla heavy stuff. It got big bla challenges stuff. Now you must thinking good na work. That's all time. Treasurer, I'm giving speech blend. Speech blend means outside writing speech blend. And put him this la photo blow island blend locavian, that's a private island or something blend locavian. Na anything was a me blow got a stablo one island paradise na me hamas na stuff. No god, me blow stablo real life na me blow got a safa na stuff. Na lo inside lo there's a speech blend. Amy working some gaman toto. Amy working some gaman toto na I'm talking oh. People got highest rate of employment increase in a decade. And the plenty months, plenty work. And one plus statement, I'm working land. And me second when I put in land. I'm talking highest rate of employment. Gaman toto. You miss hours and plenty land the country blow you me. You know got work. And me working funny lo you me yo. Me making one. And me talk also plenty land sim work na. And me the last 10 years. The highest na come up the country so but I'm not talk one sector through this la work come up and we talk connect PNC me bla work la connect me bla sa connect PNC you bla give mo ka contract ko lo Wantaim blow gaman this la connect PNC steel policy passing the steel all no ka bla one bla man audit the general mas authority ombudsman commission mas investigate them why na only pass mouse nesta this like an game to working talk bilas lol man mere must talk funny lo yumi so me think also treasurer me ada reading this or something or money writing report lol work man the treasury na writing report nothing no working work law tin law like blend law working politics ta so na to me maswara na or man mere blo yumi ba believe lo me ta so so one bla totok em working. Not bla totok em totok lan em tok. Me bla working spending 1.17 billion em tok. 1.17 billion em total. Lo assisting more families em tok. Em calling was some household assistance package. Em mean some one house. Me bla giving people some assistance lo look at him just la heavy come up economy so time lo COVID na. Time blow war blow Russia working na you make it slow down here. People assist him all one house na give this la household package. This la making him gaman toto. Because lo iko down am to also. Emi assist him all lo subsidize him all car lo put the price of fuel go down na benzene go down. That's all. You me kata no got plenty line also give me one month also got car. Close to also 90% of the population or even 99% of the population no got car. So money got car that's only benefit. I'm not benefiting one house. So that's like I'm gamer. Now I'm talk also. I'm cut him tax lo all money he got so okata fortnight by 63 kina I'm all cut him tax lo that's la. Lo 63 kina ba you go okay money lo store. Plan di lo country o the price book or something go on that. I'm just like relieve lo family no ga. Emi go lo offsetting this lo plan di all prices go on that here. That's like cut little too much lo cut him lo this la. Now emi talk also more people ban school fee lo beginning ni so. All papa mama got plan di money lo pocket blow. That's all. To not misleading statement because papa mama true only by you got plenty money in the pocket time you buy school fee blow time only work now only no got work now only no got money in the pocket plenty man the country only work lo run also that's like kind something where only Toktok land lo school fee assistance here. And because me pla okada no got ability, plani ol papa mama lo place no got ability lo buy school fee. Em lo assist him modus la line. Because now that's all you make a big unemployment problem lo country so plani line no got well or only enjoy this la benefit them to talk land lo lower level tax and talk them because surging tax law line in money go down to 20,000 go down to zero tax and then also planning line exim money. Now two, to talk law depreciation lo kina. And to go kina devaluation and to true you know got devaluation come up. That's all you may go lo all bank you look at price only work lo game lo time you like change kina you go lo US dollar Australian dollar. I think money treasury em no say go na toto one the all bank. I think mas in office na reading report also. Report where em like him all man like ama mas em lo na give me report like. Now em talk over the last years em talk lo me also more 39% depreciation lo kina 39%. Hey 39% is a depreciation come up and me block it and finish it. So there's a kind of game man to talk lo money em work lo background Toktok lo ime okata inside the country. Where now there's a report lo money of Toktok lo auto give la controlling expenditure bli bla. There's a report all sawe man lo ime lo treasury na all economist lo ime salem lo treasurer na talking you president this lo parliament. So statement bla ni em like you know bianim Toktok lo sawe man. Bianim Toktok bla ime na tintin bla ime. So I think also that is why fit law in this office. I think Prime Minister must not get one man law inside the Parliament. He got capability to work in this law work. Now, any work law all in this law man is stable. Because me plus awesome last 3 or 4 years and stop with them money law come up treasury. How much time money give man law Parliament? Now misleading Parliament. Working more statement where reality no sawe stop lo samla kan tintin na working totok natin because money no sa go lost wa money na sa go lo one plap where sawe lo hardship lo man beri na working statement natin na to go samo na mi plug sim plan di tax and to mi na revenue blo mi go tap yes revenue go tap that's all. There's la tax you know collecting the plan di man beri you collecting the same company na same book man beri you collecting the same man married. So some time you work lo start lo you using all this line lo where you make some money learn here. Some time by only by you go pass where only no got ability lo buy tax. Then by you may suffer. You may not create a new revenue base inside the country where plan demand must work, plan demand you may must scale him this heavy law country where you may can raise him revenue quanta. That's all now 1 or 2 man merit that's all work. You may not stop nothing. Lo business to one kind. Same all this level business society are buying tax buying. Plan the line in a buying tax. Now only no go lo this where only so you know so put in more tax file you go inside only no so you go on a bianim tax law. That's all only work lo go lo 1 or 2 month that's all now only work lo give more lot time lo buying tax you go come here. Now me so some customs na I see all working good law work. That's what government you know support him. All like him only go collect more money only go to spend him. True only collect more money but revenue blow you me work lo go expenditure blow you me work lo go at here. Now only talk also close to by only talk also only got record budget plus salem close to also 26 billion kina lo only bus spending this kind money. True now. Also, my pastor me salem one bla press statement go na mito also. True now. It's like expenditure blow. You mean the country work lo go on top yet. And by approaching there's a budget estimate only to talk lo only by spending 24 billion kina lo 2023 budget and now by only spending 26 billion plus. And by blowing my budget blow you mean now. And because only no controlling spending blow. Especially online staff inside law. Look at the money block country blow you mean. Prime Minister na treasurer to play sawe lo managing one something. Also, only no management economy blow you make. Now, this hour also risks economy blow you make any stop yet. Plenty of risk is stop yet. But when talks about why only talk also Pogra but start close to them. Pogra time only passing 4 years ago now, close to 4 years. Every year you may work losing all Sawaman talk also you may work losing $1 billion US. We can talk about some risk stop where Pogra, I mean, also September 16 but start. So how much time only work put him date now? You may work abrosum this date yet. Now we can talk about tonight also this date but only not meet him too. Because plenty issues all like addressing what I'm all learn on us now, all this stakeholders. I'm all no addressing. Plenty issues also the money and lease issue of the money and lease one time Barik, one time Kumul and all this all no addressing too. Only work run one time state negotiation team usarik him close to 10 million kinapinis. I think online the Kumul petroleum funding all lo where only run. Why not you need him one nubla team where you got experienced public servants society people buying pennies pay blow lo fortnight lo work in this level. That's all look at him all good blow all French blow lo usai stuff lo politics na usai stuff lo position only give him all 10 million kina. Now all run lo okata lo world run lo kan all expensive balus sleep lo kan expensive hotel run lo kan expensive car na some plenty feel when him approaching public servant some plenty feel working this the same work all man America and working land only negotiating for them something. Because Papua LNG negotiations, me working pennies now only behind the same agreement now. People are going to actually one allowance for this la. People are talk people giving people one fee or additional fee or this la. People are working this negotiation inside the country. Now what we call them the guidelines for the negotiation people are setting MOU pennies. Now only come inside now they can't even get it passed. You don't have to travel all around the world to do that. Only no controlling expenditure. That's the kind of wastage. Where you need to talk even passing COVID. Hey, COVID and finish. So there's the government inside. There's a report there. All talk also, man. All talk also. Only spending close to also 199 million kina. And close to 200 million kina. Only spending this play year. That's all. So when I'm COVID only for all panimiran this country. Only working also people one joke world when they talk also people sim this la also man blow doctor blow na okala kan young player lo go na party one bla Marcin lo stopping COVID inside the world. Now wasting 10 million kinalo this la kind na marape tu work lo believe lo this la nego ya. Making people also some kan long man. Na working this la passing where the world and lo laugh lo you mean. Talk true all this line alright so me say also you must this like something play this like country this like working decision affecting life blow man Mary. So time only work law spending another 200 million on top of the 5 billion plus only no accounted yet. Now time people ask him Prime Minister law talk also COVID finish you stopping this law. This law only government using putting tender blow road works, tender blow kan or something blow marathons, tender blow education, tender blow buy more car, tender blow something. The government only using this COVID pandemic act lo approve me gonna only no go tender. So by me looking time this audit full report come you may looking usad man through one plus still man lo this country. Usad man through misuse money lo this country. Me sawe also, you mean my sawe also. That's like billions of kina. One legal money. Now you got Marcin soap house or school picnic and stuff good law classroom maxim sawe. All teachers struggle to teaching all man. No got classroom. That's like money you mean wasting nothing can go lo all more people blame me. That's no got. You mean run. Go lo okadablo world, go lo Australia, go lo IMF, go lo World Bank, go lo ADB, go lo okadablo world, lo look money lo kageta so. Pani money lo working work, pani money lo kageta so. Also no man Maria love lo you may. And isa mibla stop lo des la world yumiyet asol. Time you like salem or gold na copper na coffee na all this is something lo yumi lo all narpla line lo world. You must deal with them. All must sawel about mibla deal with them sambla or good old man or honest man. Only working work lo look at him old man merina look at him place. And des la kind pasin you must show him so old man meri can believe lo yumi. Now Prime Minister yet. You got COVID emission 2.5 million kina lo taripore. One time COVID come out lo taripore. Na Treasury Admit got 6.4 million kina sina lo account plan lo kebia. Na miblo narpla yang giving 1 million kina lo DSIP lo working work. Our number miblo lo got 150 200,000 man meri lo desa kind money. All man meri all citizen lo desa country. All line lo yumi. All need him service. All need him something. You can blame politics as well. Service lo man meri you can kirabim desa kind political person way. Pakarabim moga something lo country blame. So me like talk also, there's a real risk law. Economy go bakarab nungo through stop yet. Octadi na open yet. One big risk is stop inside the country. Now too, you mean not controlling expenditure you mean? Not a risk. Where through yes, money you may collective land work go on top of so suppose you mean not controlling expenditure, we can talk also. Budget believing may go bagarab na, but you may stop law some kind level where economy by not law. Come up good na jimi look like. Now two, not the risk Papua LNG. You mean Masawe also. Papua LNG suppose I'm come up with timing plan where I'll talk final investment decision by working law towards the end of December or something or so. Suppose I'm come up they got further delays M2 but got one plan negative impact inside our economy. And because government believe me is all over the place. Some work, only enough working law, some development forum or something, look at him, sit down law landowners, making sure agreement, something law, look at him, all right stakeholders and stuff before you make all the construction. And you must work him law, all land investors society like Gamna invest in this law, billions of Kenya or this nuclear energy project, only must be comfortable. Or some government is working one block policy, and Basanap one block policy. You don't have sense in go come now. Working all investors nervous. Now two like talk also. There's la delay lo suppose some FID and by got big la heavy lo yumi. Now the fourth risk also delay lo wafi golpo. Suppose wafi golpo in a come up and the time where you may talk about the 2023 and there's la work by start you got some heavy lo also you can development forum lo wafi golpo. Now some issue what them learn on na provincial government all this la only no straight and quick apa lo parliament government lo morbe work lo sanat na story also why na you work lo delay this la project lo what go yet how much time you must in na story one time by you may finish all this discussion na negotiations so you can start him work so government must be serious run one time negotiating team na run the balus na hotel na working with this kind person where only thing was project will come up tomorrow na only how much rent so. Narpla budget they may put him close to also 1 billion plus lo only we talk non-tax revenues also all company blow business blow state lo country na government by buying more dividend going to lo treasury budget na and by come up with some strong lo revenue lo side blaming. Now we are also only collecting more than 300 million kina lo last 6 or 7 months. Now only budgeting lo 2023 also matin approaching 1 billion kina. Suppose there's la revenue na come but you mean by so 600-700 million kina lo budget blaming. So there's la kind of fear na unrealistic figures only work lo put in lo framing budget lo yumi and because you mean more heavy suppose you mean overblowing expenditure lo yumi you may collecting non-tax revenues come inside. Now you may not finishing this work blow Papua LNG. You may not finishing work blow Hobin Pogara. You may not finishing work blow starting Wafi. Now all narpla sectors blow you mean inside lo community also agriculture, transport, all this construction also suppose all next right support. The economy will continue to struggle, and that's the phase that we are looking at. So me like talk sawel or over the line also. Over the next few days, Now, iko by opposition by glass him go through this economic statement. Misa also sawe man blow IMF na World Bank na line to look land. That's all is because only deal one time government so only no Toktok strong. That's all. Only sawe also lo right passing lo country. Also this la government I work lo bagram him sedan blow man beri. So meeting also good law also you may larem also Department of Minerals and Energy or Mining Department also land also man pull up stuff. That's all. They have been undermined by politicians and undermined by so-called state negotiating team, both mining and petroleum. And these are very key industries to the economy of Papua New Guinea because we are a resource-based economy. Land you mean not large-scale agricultural activity in the country, so agricultural you mean steel industry needs a bit more developing. So time you may work changing we go come here. You got big issue inside the country, so miss away. Also, land of the issues, all no addressing good, lo process, only put him lo law, na behind him this law lo addressing. You saw well where one government lo before so gonna buy a development levy and infrastructure development grant. Even before you miss all is a proper landowner. That's what we're doing in the Papua project and Wafi Gold. Government go right in tribal check and give him man nothing. People in the whether I'm a right landowner or wrong landowner. How now you identify me because you know got development forum may come up yet. That's all work government work spending money na ego yet. Give him 50 million can I go Pogara, another 50 million can Wafi, another one to the Papua LNG project. This is becoming a joke. This has never happened before. You identify the landowners properly and then you spend the money accordingly where the landowners' benefits have been calculated. So you got plenty of land, one money only molders like ground where all these mining projects and gas projects are. There's a tribe, there's a community of people who own it and they share the benefits together in an orderly manner. So time government working kind passion here. And you mean you got this like a problem where you may by you got benefit because one plan you may all that plan by some nothing a look. So the economy side, even though government is talking there's growth, the economy apart from the resource sector only to growth because ExxonMobil workload selling plant the gas go out. Only to growth because Octari workload selling plant demand, but Octari they got plant the heavy stuff. First time now, Octari work borrowing money lo BSP. Only borrowing 500 million kina before. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, time me harem time only needs to be confirmed, but me harem only got narpla overdraft for another 100 million kina or 200 million kina. Now recently, only go back to ask him one plus more 100 kina. It's never happened before. It's only because now the landowners and political cronies are getting contracts in Octari, forcing the management and the board who have been forced to give contracts to Wantoks and friends. All these people who think that they know how to do mining and do construction work are now filling up in Octari. Octari will go broke and there will be no dividend for Western Province and there will be no dividend for PNG. Where it was paying dividend every year. Now there's a company go borrowing money. First time we go BSP and borrowing money, buy more wages and buy more dividend. Suppose you know making profit now, you know got money, cash flow inside company blow you, why not you like buy dividend government? And because our politicians are forcing them to pay dividend. So we are at this juncture where these problems will catch up with us. Now you think also there's a problem they go tomorrow because something will come up now, economy will improve tomorrow. No God. Commodity prices are starting to come down. Now you may wrong now you may go na passing program when prices like gold were $2,000 per ounce. Now prices come down now you like start him now. You will struggle to go come here. Because the first instance you may working wrong decision. The entire economy, workforce, all small businesses, all truck owners, all the contractors, all these people who have had mortgages now, all got business, all got loan or something, they've been suffering for 4 years. Government no got relief package blown. Me aram also only give 10 million can I go to transport association, lo tram subsidizing transport companies. That's all we aram just check and bounce. You can't play around with people's lives now. That's the kind of commitment number. So also me think also you must stop where you think also all business also more trading or something. You a lot of more professionals running. And there's a kind of something and you know something like me playing politics. And there's a kind of something you must look at him good law, current money can back law country and money can back law people. So me I'm a master also give me Toktok law MYEFO and me la talk also me worry straight also treasurer and prime minister work law misleading you me law state of the economy you may got serious problems. Underlying issues are still there. And you may antapanta you may work law Toktok na painting pixels and work something here right. Because now you may got passing where maybe our leaders will current check around the work president. I mean, work below you may. You got public service, I mean, private money below you may not go. Now me giving you this a project, now this I can't check around. And maybe equal of parliament or come up also lawmakers setting rules na laram public servants work. That's why now you may come up with some public servants around and work public servants. So you must distinguish in this law. Planning blow you may remember, you may not got experience law running one plus something. Because you may go on a convincing old man marina only work law thing also more. The money at Toktok blend sweet so Toktok blend must got meaning so you may vote him in. That's what you must have a good blend, passing blend, sedan blend, sana blend, ram blend, experience blend. Now you current this kind of line you come the leading country blow you may. Now you look him heavy stuff inside the country you may look him now. Suppose that I may continue for next 4 years and but take him another 20 years to recover. So you must thinking good. You may sawel or daily challenge you may got. You may all one man inside of this country. Go they give him you may this la tintin inside the head blow you may. Lo scale him right now wrong. That's all. You may lo Papua New Guinea you may lose tintin lo this la passing. This la passing lo scale him right now wrong. Suppose one brother you work him wrong, you may go to talk right, listen man. Wrong and me wrong, right and me right. You may too much admit him also. You may work a mistake. And you may man that's all this la ground. But you may work a mistake also. You may admit him, you may correct him, you may move on. And that's a kind of way. So Miss Howell also. You may look good now. Me got plenty all question come up so you may try to answer him this all question now you closely me to talk one you bless our opinions also no good me you go inside more you go inside the politics na bagrab more money no good plan but me showers and you plenty good plan also man you are this to talk stuff plenty all good plan experience man are this to talk stuff please you must showers and you make that country na you make that all people stuff. You may work law saving more this country na saving this law man meri place by go right and by enough law you may ogata kai enough law you may ogata bilas good na ran enough law you may ogata pani work na ran enough law you may got likely toy inside the pocket na you may ogata ran now no got you may go the wrong way so you may must thinking good na you may scaling na work law starting country blow you make some question where plan the line asking but all talk also in what ways Papua New Guinea by you may own business now contribute to economic growth inside like one question come up one the senior blow you may enable dumo me masking now me talk also the only way the country is come up and because we must employ more people we must employ more businesses to make sure that we produce enough manufacture enough provide more services this by growing income blow country can get in more and more taxes and more revenue for the country where you may scaling tax-based law plan the line across the country now reducing tax income down law so that can encourage more man very law continue to reinvest now meeting also that's by enough law strategy based law you may law growing economy law you may now you may got legal man very suppose you see none you assess him you can assess him how much Papua New Guinea man very true you own business or run a business for country law before law 1960s 1970s 1980s 1990s But you saw well some Papua New Guinea businessman, one big businessman round all but brother blow the slap na. Em bokum desa kan business na em tribal businessman. No ga, give me a name blow leader man ta solo politics ta so. Em all this la leader man ina working on la business na ban tax. So you must think good law where you may so you must plan in work law man very creating business environment law only must in reinvesting money inside the country and spreading base law collecting tax na collecting revenue so you may okata can participate law economy law. Now you may talk law or talk also in light of some measures the current economic situation you must make sure some you may encourage some Papua New Guineans for producing or something inside the country. Now you may look at issues where you may got this forex issue where you may not look in Australian dollar on time, you may not look in US dollar on time. And because me plan na come up with one country where you may okay something you may like him learn, you may import him that's all. So government needs to encourage get into small business but more into manufacturing, more into import replacement businesses. So you may can start producing something now. Encourage Papua New Guineans to buy Papua New Guinean made products. Now encouraging Papua New Guineans to talk also. Some of the time you must discriminate in a positive way. Talk also you may okata must go and buy them or Papua New Guinea produce kaketa sol na Papua New Guinea produce or clothes or something. And but that's the way by you by looking. Also money by start back lo country and you may yet can look at them online but you may that's the business will come up strong by employing more money inside the country. Now too all talk also how number you may work with them government law. You may position him or Papua New Guineans to participate in some all initiatives na, some all program or government like working land. Firstly, you must remove politics out of them. Now you look at Mokatap plan the business you may like working land, plan the government program you like working. All line also land that's all benefit. All incentive number 2 will give all line law. All you have to do is talk about producing list. You may look him, but you may look him name law man usadi benefit land. Usad contractor benefit land. But you look him name usad money only more organization, but you look him. All man who's got some relationship, relations law family or relations law tambu or relations law friends. And line to some benefit now you may so we have to avoid this program you may working land law what not best. I'll give an example. Time you blow working housing program me put him 200 million can I go BSP na talk about Papua New Guinea but go na borrowing money law back because me also suppose me control him the politics side you may control him and all one talk that's all but same no normal miss out. Now Papua New Guineans are going there getting up to 4% interest rate, 40-year loan. Look, working house now, they're benefiting. There are hundreds and hundreds of Papua New Guineans who are benefiting from this loan. That's a sort of an example. All NARPLA program too, you may work with the private sector partners who can best manage these things independently. Now all can talk, okay, you may partner in one government law, rolling out this SME program or this credit scheme or loan scheme that we are trying to establish. But you may not can go and use a NARPLA government agency where people also that can be compromised, highly compromised, and that's what's happening in the country. The second thing is threshold talk also more inflation workload and we go down and costing Titus ayo and workload asking to and one kind statement and me to talk government statement la threshold and threshold must and me to talk must go na Emna sa go na visit him Hageno, Borogao, Emna sa go lo lay o Narla. Em penis in parliament, em sa go island blend lo KBN, em sa put him lo pixel lo, tamen put him statement blend lo parliament. Em tino sa Papua New Guinea mo sa island blend, em private island blend lo upside. So it's not in the real world. Em na sa lo hardship or man very gole. So you just tintin lo desla. Em you me sinano toto quando desla kind man. And view blend and different law you and me. Because you may run a sit down, you may run on longer up where you may got heavy inside law. Family, you may got heavy inside the community, you may get stuff you may feel in pain one time. Teresa working this whole statement because he is divorced from reality. Na work lo pilai na togol sa mi work lo repairing budget yet. 13 years man mi repairing budget yet. 13 years suppose sa money stabet bitok ba yumi okta badai. Because business okta business mo bagarap. But no got work, no got money. So Minister, Prime Minister look at him lo one him can way. To play it mas awas to play work lo Toktok ko kam. So mi sawasan sambla tintin lo look at him ordinary man meri lo Papua New Guinea. Some programs only work lo start him announcement talk sweet or something right. But lot of me toto one the private sector lo implementing modesla. Working partnership with the private sector. Suppose you give him loan less than me, give him lo give him no BSP. Lot of only gonna talk. You just set the guidelines, like we did with the housing loan policy. Maybe put in 200 million, they put another 200 million. Now it's successful, so it's going from strength to strength. More and more Papua New Guineans are borrowing money to build houses, which is good. It improves their living standard, it improves their productivity, and contributes to nation building. Low side blow. Clive Ronnie will ask him and talk what are the key factors and trends that drive MYEFO and how business can effectively navigate and adapt to this, maintain growth and stability inside the economy. Very important question. But MYEFO is one important tool lo yumi assessing where yumi track lo namel lo iya. And sawa some issues yumi put in the budget ikamya yumi achieving modest law or no God. Suppose no God, you can introduce a supplementary budget law, adjusting so we are focusing close to what is the real situation. But budget is just a guide. But now you look in, instead of controlling expenditure, only work law increasing expenditure because tax office or line tax office is going to talk, now maybe like increase revenue. But in the tax side, but non-tax revenue go down yet. So that's like revenue and balance out. Time and balance out. Revenue will be still the same that you've predicted. Now, on the other side, you go ahead and increase the expenditure. So, some kind of difficult decisions number they have to make and rein in these wastage. Current checkbook run. Prime Minister working can promise local up na MRM also. Okay, the promise and working the country local up now close to 6 or 7 billion kina. But you see money lo when you entertain him or you honoring the soul commitment and you working. So this kind of unrealistic Giaman expectation lo lifting bell na kusa totok lo karabin bell blolman meri must stop. Suppose no got money talk no got money. So by me prioritize him lo desla. Molman meri ba understanding. So and you must think lo working lo desla way. Narapla brother and Joel Lalo, I'm asking him, what is the exact value of our currency? Now we can talk also currency, blow you me. And depending too much low all bank already trading we go come. So there's flexibility. In fact, at some stage we have to peg that kina. Me got stronger belief also if you may peg him kina, lo give him all man Mary confidence or some valuable kina and lo desla level. So at some stage we have to say, okay, we are incapable of managing the fluctuations in our currency. We have to admit to that reality. Even our money we put him go inside to can or leader you go inside, can treasurer you go inside to hardly you may control him. And we will always be going up and down and even going down further as we go into the years ahead of us. So Tintin Blomi also, we are becoming a very import dependent nation. So you must change this trend law outflow of foreign currency must not go up. Now all these nuclear projects, research projects you make learn. Only someone work like giving fear you may also there's a Dutch disease where someone's kina is strong too much by affecting economy and economy you may struggle. Me Arab there's like an argument you can make the me happiness. So you must now talk about line law, stuff law, resource development law, current foreign currency or any mere law gold now copper now gas blue almost current some blah blah come back inside the country. Can current moga can, but all must agree to a certain percentage. Suppose mean also you mean sanction law enforcing this law you mean must sanction. Whether it's 30% or 50%, it doesn't matter, but we have to do our people to calculate it. So we have a gradual strengthening of our kina, and then time you make a level where you meet in also this by giving me competitive advantage, meaning also exports you make some good price, imports you can buy them. Time you can inside time you can come cheaply, so all man can afford them. So at that level where we are competitive, then we can peg the kina and talk also. You may peg him US dollar the slab, then you may trade the slab. Also one by legally 10 kilometers. So now you may talk online where or talk also. Why is there unrest everywhere and people are always living in fear every day? And because you see, old man Mary looking not at hope. Time you not at hope, what are you going to live for? So they take matters into their own. Suppose not at hope, you got some work in a feeding family, how are you going to feed your family? So you take matters into your hand. And that's the kind of person who come up inside the country, now we have a police force that is struggling because the police force is busy running COVID. I don't know where the commissioner is busy running COVID. And COVID must stop with them. They spend almost 200 million kina in this year alone when COVID is almost finished. So time you may work spending this kind of money around, you may work around where we are supposed to be addressing these issues. So we need to give people hope. We need to give them hope where they can say there's a job opportunity there for you. Make sure you have a good education, skilled. Make sure that you have skills in some field where that can make sure that you earn an income that will using that skill so that you can survive. Or get into business if you are strong-minded and disciplined enough to control the revenues and expenditure in your business. Supposed to go to in the business, so you can start in business. You employ more relatives. You can employ more competent Papua New Guineans, so that all you get any money in a developing country buying tax. And those are the ways that we can be able to participate more meaningfully. And law and order is a big issue. Law and order is a big issue. Now you can go anywhere. You look at more police money go, Los Alamos drugs, police money go, and the planet blown missiles, and in a group of police money stuff. So one or two play you work like Bakarabim country blow you me. Bakarabim country blow you me where now you look him also only come up with some criminals. Now police, two police work like arrest him all this kind of man. I think today's paper one example. But this is happening across the country. And again, there's a treasurer, Wantaim police commissioner, and all this line Marabe work like protect him all. Why? That's like position one like personal friend Marabe. You have to put your friendships aside and you have to appoint the people who are going to serve the country and the people without fear or favor. Now you think that you can control the country by instilling fear, and there's a kind of lawlessness become up longer. So Ms. Wells and you can continue to debate all this issue, but reality is reality. We can continue to paint a picture that everything is so rosy and so good, but reality is reality. The reality on the ground is very different from what our treasurer and what our prime minister is saying. So Ms. Awals, I'm planning a question will look up, so you may run out of time. But me pla time lo answer mo la all question lo way me platin also by giving you a good understanding of some issues inside the country. And let's continue to debate these issues. After 4 years, Marape and Treasurer Toktok continuing to repair the budget. Well, it's obvious that the mechanic who is trying to repair the budget from KVN does not know what he's doing. He does not know what he's doing. Instead of putting on the first gear to go forward, he's putting on the reverse gear for us to go backwards. So let's make the decisions. It's time for him to be moved to another ministry where him and Marape can continue to enjoy the privileges of being a minister. But we need a treasurer that can do the work. We need a police commissioner that can do the work for the country and for our people. Thank you, and God bless you, Vlogata. Lo arem Toktok lo mi. By me, Toktok, we'll continue to discuss and engage in the questions. But I'm very, very, very pleased that you have been able to find time to talk to with me tonight. Before I go, I just want to let you know that our Supreme Court reference in terms of the fraud that happened in the national elections in 2022. Plenty can vote, plenty strange ballot papers go inside the plenty uplo country, plenty all declarations all working nothing, plenty all police interference all working lo inside the counting area na karam all mobile squad go inside lo threatening all counters na returning officers na election officials. This is very evident right across the country, so that is why I am seeking a Supreme Court reference. So, but you may look so else and usad money like random country and go inside all this position must get the people's mandate lo clear way. No one can vote inside lo house line lo sit inside the house na voting wantamol yampla or lo side lo car na voting wantamol yampla karam all extra ballot papers go lo voting and this la kind passing must stop lo this country. And by you back him wrong leader yet inside the country, believe me. And this is why we are having these problems today. People who do not deserve to be leading the country are leading the country, and that is why they are not able to relate to our people's problem. Thank you, good night, and God bless each and every one of you.